The story begins and we see Max. Max lay unconscious on a sharp rock for 3 days and 3 nights. As soon as his eyes opened, he looked around and completely froze. Far off in the sea, his fellow sailors were floating as if they were peacefully asleep. But when he got closer, his soul trembled. They had all died long ago. At that moment, Max understood that he was the only one who survived this terrible accident. His heart was heavy, but he still gathered the courage to bury all the bodies on the shore. As evening approached, darkness spread all around, and the silence and unknown dangers of the jungle prevented him from entering. He climbed a large tree nearby and stayed there all night, scared and distressed. Only one thought was revolving in his mind. As soon as morning comes, he must somehow find a way to save himself. The next morning when the sun rose, he saw the same large ship in the distance on which he was traveling. He decided that he absolutely had to go there and gather food, drink, and rescue supplies. After hours of effort, he somehow managed to reach the ship. He had just gone down to the cabin when suddenly he heard the weak, crying sounds of a dog coming from a room. He gets panicked and picks up an axe. He breaks the door down loudly, and as soon as the door opens, his own beloved dog, Simba, is standing there alive. Seeing this, tears of joy well up in his eyes. After this, he finds a little bit of food, some tools, and lots of guns in another room. He quickly brings all the supplies he can gather before the ship sinks up to the deck. Then he cuts wooden planks and prepares a strong raft. He also brings Simba down and ties every necessary item securely with ropes. The situation was that he even had to use the same rope to tie the waist of his own trousers. His only thought was to somehow save his and Simba's lives. The raft was heavy with supplies, but the strong waves of the sea made his job easy. He manages to bring everything to the shore without much effort. But as soon as he counts the food and drink, his heart sinks. Only enough ration for one meal is left. This means that now he and Simba will have to eat very carefully, and at the same time, they will have to quickly find a way to get out of here. As he gains a little strength, Max takes a rifle and heads towards the jungle. The hope was that somewhere he would definitely find a path, a sign, or a way to get back home. He crosses a high waterfall, then a large deserted field, and then slowly walking, he reaches the other side of the island. He is completely stunned when he reaches the other side. As far as the eye can see, there is no land, no person, nor any sign of life. Moreover, this place is also one where ships never pass. This means the hope of rescue is almost nil. Therefore, Max thinks that if he ever gets any help, he should not miss it. He shifts his small shelter very close to the sea and spends hours every day staring at the sea with binoculars. But days pass, weeks pass, and a full 6 months go by, but nothing changes. One day, Max and Simba are looking for shells on the shore rocks. Suddenly, Simba starts barking loudly. At first, Max does not pay attention, but as soon as he raises his canteen to drink water, his eyes are wide open. A large ship is passing far off in the sea. He runs without thinking. He picks up the torch he had prepared earlier and runs with all his might towards the large bonfire he had made about 100 meters away. But it takes time for the fire to rise as high as necessary. The flame is small and not enough to be seen from that distance. As the ship moves further away, Max's restlessness and anxiety increase. He wants to draw the ship's attention to himself by any means. He picks up the rifle and fires several shots towards the sea. But the sound of his bullets is lost in the roar of that huge ocean in an instant. The ship continues to move forward without any reaction, as if Max does not even exist. This was his last hope, and that too seems to be broken. In disappointment and panic, Max takes a crazy step. He jumps directly into the sea and starts swimming with all his might. He keeps trying to move forward by stroking repeatedly, but within a few minutes, he realizes that he cannot even move from his spot. The strong waves are not letting him go forward. Slowly, the ship gets smaller and smaller before his eyes. Then it is just a dot, and then it completely disappears. Max is utterly exhausted. There is no strength left in his body. His mind is blank, and his hopes are shattered. The sea itself pushes him back towards the shore. When he falls onto the sand, he is completely wet, tired, and broken. At that moment, Simba runs to him. He is crying and moaning as if he understands everything. Hearing Simba's voice breaks Max's heart even more. He could perhaps endure the pain of a human, but his dog's sorrow, this was the one thing that tore at his heart. That night, Max silently looks up at the sky. The stars are shining, but he does not see even a little hope in them. He thinks for a long time, and finally, one thing becomes clear. If no one is coming to save him, he himself will have to make this place his home. The very next day, he throws himself into work. First, he finds a safe spot, then collects wood, and slowly starts building a small shelter. He has few tools, but his courage is complete. In just a few days, he prepares a framework, which he makes better and better every day. Then this routine continues for several months, and by the end of one full year, a beautiful, large, rustic house is standing built by his hands. Slowly, he starts to realize that this island is not entirely bad. Here there are pineapples, sweet mangoes, wild animals, and best of all, natural hot water springs. Here there is food, water, and hunting, and most importantly, Simba is with him. Now his life has become a routine. Waking up in the morning to find food, improving the house or bringing wood from the jungle during the day, and in the evening, sitting by the seashore and watching the water stretch out to the sky. Sometimes it comes to his mind that maybe a ship will pass again someday, but now his life is not dependent on that hope, and he does not even know how 2 years pass by. Although he is alone on this desolate island, he is not truly alone because Simba is with him in every breath, every step, every moment. Simba's presence is like the last remaining warmth of life for him. He tries to keep himself busy in various ways, sometimes by carving his experiences on wood, sometimes by writing in an old diary, and sometimes by playing a slow flute tune. And whenever the sound of the flute spreads in the air, Simba wags his tail and lightly jumps around, as if he too is looking for his little happiness in this desolate world. But no matter how much a person tries, they cannot completely escape loneliness. Slowly, Max's days start to feel the same and dull. Every morning, the same shore, the same tree, the same jungle. And when night falls and everything becomes quiet, the empty space in his heart screams the loudest. Many times he sits in a corner of his house and cries, remembering his wife. Her laughter, her softness, her companionship, everything is now just a memory. One day when Max and Simba are walking peacefully on the beach, his eyes suddenly fall on a deep mark made in the sand. At first he thinks it might be his own footprint, but as soon as he bends down and looks at its size, his heart stops for a moment. This mark is of a human, but so large as if some giant, some cruel warrior, or some monster has stepped there. A cold shudder runs down his spine. He immediately tightens his grip on the rifle. His gait slowly becomes extremely cautious. Every bush nearby, every rustle of leaves, every whisper, everything is in his line of sight. Simba is also strangely alert, growling softly as if sensing some invisible danger. Going a little further into the jungle, Max's eyes widen. Several canoes are standing there, beautifully carved from strong wood, and in such a state as if someone had just brought them to the shore. And right nearby, some strange kind of sounds are coming. Not like talking, not like singing, something that he is hearing for the first time in his life. At that moment, he understands. There is someone on the island, and they are not ordinary people at all. His heart is pounding fast. So friends, if you like the story, quickly like and subscribe. Still, Max follows those sounds and moves forward, peeking out from behind a thick tree. As soon as he sees the scene in front of him, all the blood drains from his body. A large group of tribesmen is performing a terrifying sacrificial ritual. Drums are beating rapidly, fire is tearing through the sky, and in the middle, some people are tied with ropes, bloody and struggling. Those screams shake Max deep inside. He trembles and slides backward on the ground. A terrible battle rages in his mind between fear and courage. He knows that if he is seen, his fate will probably be the same as those people. But as soon as his eyes fall on the eyes of a man tied in ropes, there is not fear in those eyes, but a plea for mercy, a cry for help. That sight breaks something inside Max. 2 years of loneliness have not been able to destroy his humanity. For a few seconds, he fights with his own heartbeats. Then he takes a breath and makes a decision. He will not stand silently and watch someone die, even if it costs him his own life. Max picks up the rifle from behind the tree. He takes aim, and as soon as he gets the right opportunity, he pulls the trigger. The sound of the bullet echoes in the jungle, and the entire ritual turns into chaos. The sound of the drums stops. The tribesmen start shouting, and pandemonium breaks out. In that anarchy, a young man who was tied somehow manages to break his ropes and escape. One bullet has not only opened the door to danger, but also saved a life. Running a short distance, the young man comes face to face with Max. Both stop for just a moment. There is such tension in the air that it is impossible to understand what is going to happen next. Slowly, the tribesman approaches Max without any anger. He puts his weapon down. Then he kneels and places Max's foot on his shoulder, as if silently saying, "You saved my life." But in the very next moment, the atmosphere completely changes. The tribesman suddenly grabs Max's gun with a jerk. Max's heart pounds loudly. He feels that this misunderstanding might cost both of them their lives. But soon he understands that this man does not know how to fire a gun. He is holding it as if it were a dry stick. If the trigger accidentally goes off, anyone could be shot. Max immediately raises both his hands, as if saying, "Be calm." It is clearly written on his face, "I am not an enemy, I just want to be a friend." But the language barrier stands as a wall between them. The tribesman looks at Max's every move with suspicion. Fear, confusion, and suspicion are all visible on his face at once. Instead of anger, Max chooses humanity. He slowly opens his bag and takes out some fruits and dry food from it. Then he steps back a little, puts the food on a stone, and gestures, "This is for you, eat it." The tribesman looks at Max, then the food, and then Max again. After a few seconds, he understands that this is not a threat, but help. He slowly moves towards the food. But then there is a rustling in the leaves inside the jungle, and 3 dangerous enemies emerge, tearing through the bushes. Just by looking at their faces, it is clear that they are not going to leave either of them alive. Max does not waste a single second. He quickly snatches his rifle back and fires a shot. The first enemy is instantly taken down, and then something happens that Max had not even imagined. The tribesman, who until now did not even know how to hold a gun, moves forward like lightning. He strikes with his weapon and knocks one enemy to the ground in an instant. Now Max is not alone. He has a new companion with him. A companion he cannot understand, but one who has decided to stand by him. After taking down the enemies, Max thinks that everything is calm now, but in the very next moment, what he sees shakes him deep inside. The tribesman, with whom Max was fighting shoulder to shoulder just moments ago, suddenly bends over the body of his own dead companion and starts eating it. This sight is so horrific that Max's blood runs cold. A cough unintentionally escapes his throat, and hearing it, the tribesman becomes alert and runs away. Then Max understands that this man is not just a tribesman, but a cannibal. Now fear starts coursing through his veins. He immediately returns to his shelter and does only one thing for several days: security. He puts up fences of sharp wood all around the house. He prepares many pits and rope traps and keeps every rifle loaded. He stays awake all night, keeping the fire lit, fearing an attack. But the astonishing thing is that no enemy returns for a full 6 months. The more the peace increases, the more restless Max becomes. Finally, he thinks that if the danger is not coming to me, then perhaps I will have to go to the danger. He takes his rifle and Simba and ventures into the jungle. He takes every step with caution, but suddenly the ground sinks beneath him, and he gets caught in the ropes, hanging upside down from the tree. The rifle has fallen to the ground, and his body is completely unable to move. Simba barks in panic. He stays there for a few moments, then runs into the jungle, perhaps to look for help or to save himself. A little later, the same tribesman emerges from the bushes, but this time there is no hostility in his eyes, only a strange curiosity. He slowly picks up Max's fallen rifle and looks at it as if it is something from another world for him. Max, hanging upside down above, has only one question spinning in his mind: will this man save me or finish me off? The tribesman sits on the ground and examines the rifle carefully, as if trying to understand the meaning of this powerful thing. Taking advantage of that opportunity, Max bites his belt with his teeth. He frees himself from the ropes and, as soon as he falls, fires a warning shot. The bullet hits a nearby tree, and Max runs and grabs his rifle back. The tribesman is scared, but there is also surprise in his eyes, as if he is understanding for the first time how dangerous this weapon is. Max wants him to understand exactly that. A rifle is not just a thing, it is a tool of death. So Max fires a straight shot at the tree, and the bark flies off and scatters all around. The tribesman is stunned seeing this, but he does not give up either. He picks up a piece of wood from the ground. He swings it in the air and throws it quickly at the sharp part of a nearby tree. The aim is so accurate, as if a master hunter is striking. The tribesman proudly points towards his target, as if saying, "Your rifle is good, but I am not weak either." Max calms down a little seeing this. This man is wild, but not stupid. He has understanding and perhaps a little human heart too. Slowly, Max decides to take him to his house. It is nighttime. Max gives him food, fruit, meat, and water. The tribesman eats with trust, and for the first time in months, Max feels that he is truly not alone. But the fear is still there. That is why he ties him with a light chain at night so that he neither runs away nor causes any harm. But something unique happens the next morning. The tribesman opens the chain without making any noise and goes straight to Max's room. Hearing the movement, Max wakes up with a start. For a moment, he feels that some danger has entered his house, but he stops when he sees what is in front of him. The same tribesman, whom he had tied up the previous night out of fear, is now standing holding food for him with a completely calm face. In that one moment, Max's heart truly melts. He feels that he had misunderstood this man. He might have made a big mistake by suspecting him. Max immediately unlocks his chain and for the first time smiles and holds his hand. He names him Philip. This name becomes the beginning of their friendship. After this, Max resolves to teach Philip his language. Initially, he thinks this task will take months or years to complete, but Philip is no ordinary person. He is quick-witted by birth. In just 6 months, he can comfortably talk to Max about basic things. He not only talks, but also understands, and this is not his only quality. Philip is also very hardworking. He helps Max improve the house, goes hunting, works in the fields, and remains his companion in every daily task. Max is perhaps getting back as much as he had lost. One evening, both of them are sitting near the fire. Max is telling Philip the story of the Bible. He wants Philip to feel God just like him, but Philip says in a calm voice that his tribe's belief is different. He says they worship the bird deity. He says he believes in what he can see. Your God resides in spirits, and I can see the spirit of everything. Therefore, our beliefs are not different, but they reach the same place through different paths. Hearing his words, Max understands for the first time that Philip is not wild, but a person with a deep soul. When Philip says that he does not like Max's God, the atmosphere between the two suddenly becomes heavy, and an argument breaks out. Max picks up the Bible and shows him that God resides within it, but Philip flips through the pages and says he finds nothing inside. This makes Max angry, and he calls him wild. And broken by that insult, Philip immediately leaves the house. After this, both of them become strangers even while living on the same island. They turn their eyes away when they meet on the path. Philip catches fish with a spear and Max with a hook. Both of their lives start moving on different paths. But as time passes, Max is filled with regret. He realizes that changing someone is not respect. True respect lies in accepting each other's different thoughts and beliefs. After many days of thinking, Max musters the courage to go looking for Philip. And when he finds him sitting alone, he approaches him and says in a slow, sincere voice that he is deeply sorry for whatever he said in anger. From now on, they will not interfere with each other's beliefs and will maintain their friendship with respect. Then he asks, "Will you forgive me, Philip?" After this incident, Max and Philip become friends again, and their relationship grows even deeper than before. In their free time, they race crabs on the beach like big boys and laugh and play, wishing that their peaceful life would always remain like this. But one day, Philip tells Max that he had broken the rules of his tribe. Therefore, he was sent to this island for sacrifice. And because Max saved his life, the tribe will definitely return to complete one more sacrificial ritual. Hearing this, both of them decide that they will place a lot of explosives at the old volcanic blast site beforehand, so that when the tribesmen return, their path will be destroyed forever in one go. An entire month is spent preparing this plan. Then one day, a rumbling sound comes from the volcanic cave, so Max and Philip hide behind the trees with torches. Finding an opportunity, they light the fuse. Sparks spread rapidly, and the curious Simba also runs with them towards the cave. In the next moment, there is a loud explosion, and in front of Max's eyes, his 10-year-old companion, Simba, disappears in the flames. It is impossible for him to believe. With a broken heart, he buries Simba in his yard and prays for him while crying. But in the meantime, Philip warns that if the tribe finds out that he is still alive, they will never leave him. In response, Max says that they can build a raft and go to England. Hearing this, Philip flares up and says that white men often attack their tribe and capture them and take them away as slaves. Then suddenly, Philip suspects that Max might also consider him a slave, and the more Max denies it, the angrier Philip becomes. Because of this misunderstanding, Max loses his best friend again. After being left alone, he now has only one way left: to build a raft to leave the island. For this, he has to cut down huge, centuries-old trees alone with an axe. With every strike, he feels that he is completely alone on this island. It is necessary to leave the island before the storm comes, and Max has less than a month left. Therefore, he works non-stop day and night, even in the wind and in the rain. With his back-breaking labor, the raft slowly starts to take shape. One day while he is tying ropes, Philip suddenly comes from behind and says loudly, "I haven't slept yet. I am ready to go to my friend." Then he says emotionally that Max saved his life, and now he wants life to take Max to a safe place. On this, he gives Max a garland made by his own hands, saying that he has returned this time to help him. With this, they become friends again like before. But then a terrible storm comes, and out of necessity, both of them have to leave their kept goats outside, and they hide in a weak house, waiting for the storm to pass. But they never thought that even though they had tied the raft with strong ropes, the power of nature turns out to be so tremendous that the entire raft is washed away in the flood. After somehow getting through the long night, when they go outside in the morning, the entire island is filled with broken branches, uprooted roots, and scattered wood. It is as if the storm has swallowed all their hard work and hopes in one go. Max and Philip do not have any time to panic because the night of the full moon is quickly approaching, which means the tribesmen can reach the island at any moment. Now their victory rests only on their intelligence and gunpowder. Both of them immediately start setting up different types of traps everywhere. They create a machine using the windmill mechanism that can fire bullets automatically. They prepare a device that distracts by joining broken mirrors and set up every path in such a way that the tribesmen get trapped as soon as they step inside. Finally, that night of the full moon arrives when everything is at stake. Max cuts his beard and makes himself look like a tribesman. And before the war begins, both of them pray to their respective gods because this is truly a do-or-die battle. After this, Max plays the flute to draw the tribesmen's attention towards the traps, and the plan seems to be working perfectly because they start moving forward, following the sounds. But when they pass by Simba's grave, they break the wall. Seeing this, flames of anger erupt within Max. He cuts the rope at the right moment, and the hidden mechanism starts, taking down several tribesmen right there. The remaining ones turn in the other direction because of the glare of the broken mirrors and fall directly into the large trap. Now victory for both of them is truly near. The entire group of tribesmen is finished. But just as Max and Philip think that everything is over, the last tribesman who emerges from the bushes suddenly fires an arrow that hits Max directly in the chest. Philip throws his axe without thinking and kills that enemy. Then he immediately runs into the jungle. He finds herbs, grinds them, and applies them to Max's wound. But even after 3 days, the wound becomes more infected instead of healing. It becomes clear that if proper treatment is not given quickly, Max will not survive for more than 2 days. Therefore, Philip decides, without caring for his own life, that he will take Max to his tribe for treatment, because the real medicine is there. But as soon as they reach the tribe's gate, tribesmen with bows and arrows surround them, because everyone thinks Max is the white man who makes slaves. Still, there is a rule that it is a sin to kill a sick person. Therefore, the doctor cleans Max's wound and starts the treatment. But Philip is told that as soon as Max is well, he will have to fight a deadly duel with Philip in the arena, and only the one who survives will be allowed to leave this place. 2 days later, according to the same rule, Max and Philip are forced to stand face to face in the middle of the arena. Yesterday they were the best of friends, and now they are afraid to hurt each other. But the rules are so cruel that if they do not fight, both of them will be killed. Out of compulsion, the fight begins. Finally, Max falls to the ground. His dagger falls far away, and he spreads his arms and closes his eyes, wanting his friend to kill him immediately. But when Philip bends over him, his hand stops. He cannot strike. Then suddenly a loud gunshot echoes, and Philip falls into Max's arms. The biggest part of Max's heart breaks at that moment because it is revealed that white men had attacked the tribe again, and they mistakenly shot Philip. In this way, Max, who was trapped on that island for 15 years, finally reaches the hospital with the white people's ship and embraces his wife. But even today, when he sits near the fire, he remembers his friend with whom he spent those years of life, struggle, courage, and loyalty. Those years that will always remain alive in his soul. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.